video, we are going to talk about equations. And what is an equation? It is a mathematical statement that shows two expressions are equal. That is, when we have an expression like this, and the answer that you give will be this. That is, the answer that this left-hand side is equal to the right-hand side. We can say that this is an equation because both sides must be balanced. So, and this expression always have an equal sign between. An expression that have equal sign between them is what we know as an equation. Then, examples. We have 2x plus 3 equals to 7. That's an example of equation. And you can look at, we have parts of an equation. The part of an equation, you have the left-hand side, we have the right-hand side. The expression before the equal sign, that is your left-hand side. The expression after the equal sign, that is what we call the right-hand side. The variables are the unknown we want to find. And what are these unknown? X, Y, or Z, or maybe another letters like A, B, C, or so. So those ones, we call them variables, which means that they represent number. So we call them variables, and they can be of different values. So that's a variable. They can change. Values can change. So coefficient is another term that we need to know. This is the number that multiplies the variable or the unknown. Number that multiplies the variable or the unknown, we call it the coefficient. Now an example is the coefficient of y in 2y is 2. That is 2y. 2 multiplies y. So therefore 2 is the coefficient. The coefficient of x in minus 7x is minus 7. Which means that the coefficient of x in minus 7x is minus 7. Because minus 7 is multiplying x. So therefore minus 7 is the coefficient. And so on and so forth. Now, types of equations. We have the linear equations, we have the quadratic equations, and we have the simultaneous equations. The linear equations, can see examples. We have 3x plus 4 equals to 10. The quadratic equation, we have x squared plus 3x plus 2 equals to 0. Then simultaneous equations, we have 2 or more equations solved together. Just like this is an equation. This is an equation 1, and this is an equation 2. But for this video, our focus of the type of equation that we look at is the linear equations. And what is the linear equations? Linear equation is an equation in which the highest power of the variable is 1. Where the highest power of the variable is 1, you can say that this one is an linear equation. The linear equation. That is when you have the x. The highest power of this x is 1. So when you have x plus 5 equals to 7, you can say that this equation is linear. Then when we have 2x minus 5 equals to 7, you can say that this is what? A linear equation. Then another one is, see, why are they called linear equations? The reason why they are called linear equations is because when you plot a graph, it forms a straight line. That is, when you say linear, straight. So it forms a straight line. That is why we call them the linear equation, when they are used to plot graph. General form of linear equation, we have ax plus b equals to c. What does this ABC represent? The ABC there, the ABC represent numbers that will be used. It represent numbers that will be used, while x is the unknown, which is called the variable. X there is called the variable. That's the unknown. Now I'm going to look at examples of how equations are solved. How to solve linear equations, like what we have here. Examples. Solve the following equations. We have 3 plus x plus y equals to 12. 5x minus 8 equals to 2x plus 4. X over 4 plus 5 equals to 10. 4x is equals to 20. And how will you solve this? You have to take note of the sign changing pattern that we're going to use. If any number that have a positive sign crosses the equal symbol, that number automatically change the sign from positive to negative. That is, when it is plus here and it crosses the equal sign, it becomes minus. It becomes minus. And if it is minus and it crosses the equal sign, it becomes plus. So we should take note of this sign changing, and that is what we are going to use for this problem. X plus y equals to 12, and the unknown we have to look for here is the variable, which is x. Is x. We want to find the value of x. And how do you find the value of x? You have to move plus 5 to the other side of the equal, for the other side of the equal, the equation. Now I'm going to look at this. This is x plus 5 equals to 12. You move plus 5 to the other side. It becomes 12 minus 5. You can see that the plus 5 becomes minus 5. That's the sign changing rule that we need to know. So if you see 12 minus 5 equals to 7. So that means x, the value of x is 7. Now if we want to check if our answer is correct, we can say that 7 plus 5 is equal to 12, which is balanced. And this equation is true. This equation is true. So x is equal to 7. Another example is we now have unknown on both sides. Anytime, any problem that we're solving and we have unknown on both sides, the best thing that we're going to do is we're going to do what we call collect like terms. What are the terms? 5x is a term, this is another term, this is another term, and this is another term. Now 5x and 2x, they are of the same term because they are in terms of x. They are of the same term. While these ones, minus 8 and 4, they are constant and they are what? They are the same. That is, they are numbers. Yeah? They are numbers, so therefore they are like terms. So what do? You take 2x to this side, and remember that 2x is plus. Remember the sign rule, 2x is positive. If there is no sign on a number, that number is positive. But if there is a sign, you see the negative sign on it, but there is no negative sign, so this is what? Plus. So this 2x that is plus, if it crosses to this side of the equal sign, it becomes what? Minus. So 5x minus 2x will now give you 3. Then what about this? This 8 is minus here. And if it crosses this equal sign to the other side, it becomes positive. So that's why I have plus 8. So if minus 8 crosses to this side, it becomes plus 8. So 4 plus 8 gives 12. Then when you get to this side of an equation where you have 3x equal to 12, the best thing to do is you are going to divide both sides by the coefficient of x. I've done coefficient before, you know what it is. So divide both sides by the coefficient of x. And what is the coefficient of x? 3. 3 is the coefficient of x. So that means you are dividing both sides by 3. So when you divide both sides by 3, 3x divided by 3 will give you x. Then 12 divided by 3 will give 4. So the value of x is equal to 4. If you want to try the value in this expression, we will see that this expression here is equal with the other side. You can check that later on. Then another one is, another example here, which is this, x over 4 plus 5 over 1 equals to 10 over 1. Why I place over 1 for this? We are just trying to make it a fraction, just like x over 4. Anytime you are given a fractional equation with fraction, what you do is you are going to find the LCM of the denominators. The LCM of the denominators, and the LCM of 4, 1, and 1 is 4. So multiply each term by the LCM, and the LCM is 4. So I'm going to multiply each of the terms. X over 4 is a 10, so x over 4 times 4 plus 5 times 4 equal to 10 times 4. So I multiply each of the 10 by 4. After you do that, x times 4 will now be 4x over 4. 5 times 4 is 20. 10 times 4 is 40. Now 4x divided by 4 will give x. 20 will give 4x divided by 4 will give x plus 20 equals to 40. Now we see that we now have a very easy equation to work with. We are able to remove the fraction. It's now easier for us to solve. So the value of x will now be moving plus 20 to the other side, becomes minus 20. So 40 minus 20 is equal to 20. So x is equal to 20. So that's the answer for this equation. Then the last one, you see that you'll be given question like 4x equal to 20. The best thing to do is to divide both sides by the coefficient of x. And what the coefficient of x? 4. So 4x divided by 4. 4x divided by 4 will give x. Then 20 divided by 4 will give 5. So the value of x is equal to 5. So this is how to solve an equation. This is how to solve an equation, and this is how an equation is. So in the next video that I'm going to make, we are going to talk about the quadratic equations. We're going to talk about the quadratic equation. So if you have any questions, or maybe you have anything to say concerning the lesson, that's the equations that we've talked about, you can as well click on my link to my channel and subscribe, share, and also comment too on areas you are not clear with to ask questions. Thank you.